Now, right now, here on this day, in today's Next Up segment, we're going to hear more about a company taking that tech to new heights. Gather AI is its name, and it uses its software to power drones that monitor inventory levels at warehouses. Retailers and manufacturers can use it to monitor the quality of food and beverages, cut back on excess inventory, and even to reduce shrink. Here in studio with us right now to talk a little bit more about this is Sankalp Arora, co-founder and CEO of Gather AI. Great to have you here on the set, Sankalp.
Pleasure to be here.
Let's talk about this technology here. First, just to be clear here, you're making the technology that goes into these drones and not the drones themselves, or is this all sort of put together as one package?
No, so we don't make the drones at all. Unfortunately, robotics is at an inflection point where you can use off-the-shelf hardware and make it autonomous and do useful things.
So what does your software then bring to the table for those end users with those off-the-shelf drones?
So I'll go to the problem we solve. Because now most of the retail movement is happening in e-commerce. And let's say you order a pair of shoes and you click buy on the website and they don't arrive at your house because for whatever reason, they didn't find it in the warehouse. More and more of those units are actually moving to warehouses to end customers instead of retail stores. And more of those units are getting lost. So that's what we do, where we make drones autonomous, curious about boxes and barcodes. So they fly around in warehouses, take inventory, making inventory taking 15 times faster than it typically has been. Which means if I'm a warehouse worker, I don't have to find the pair of shoes you ordered in 500,000 shoes that are in the warehouse. I can just look up in the system where they are because a drone has scanned it and get it to you.
Is that in conjunction with a worker? So does that replace the worker, or is it the worker working with that software and with the drone that helps make all of this possible?
It's the worker working with it. I like to say we make people superhumans. So before us, a person would usually take 60 items per hour and take inventory of it. With us, they can take up to 900 items per hour.
Oh my gosh.
And keep scanning. So really, in an industry that is facing 70% attrition rate, people doing really hard jobs, we just make their jobs a little bit easier.
And what's your relationship like? What's it like with customers? Like getting your pitch out there, getting meetings? How is that evolving right now for you? Who are you talking to?
It's been, actually, we are deployed in a few of the leading 3PLs in US, like NFI, Geodis, some of the largest retailers in the world, which I can't name. But we have had results where we dropped their inventory inaccuracies by 60%, where we get their warehouses up to 99.9997% accurate. And all of this turning their facilities from reactive, where they were finding stuff, to proactive, where they know where everything is.
Sankalp, we always ask a lot of the folks who come on this segment about this idea of sort of what your moat is. That was sort of course, always the famous Warren Buffett sort of euphemism for how do you sort of protect what you have and this idea that you've come up with from competitors, particularly more deep-pocketed competitors, that if they see the success of this, they'll say, well, why don't we just do it ourselves?
Yeah, that's a very good question. The tech is hard. The team that we have assembled is a team of robotics and AI experts that has been working on it for the last 15 years. I was fortunate enough to build the world's first fully autonomous helicopter, and sort of that tech transferred into this. And I think the main moat is that we have spent hours and hours and months in warehouses marrying deep tech with actual use case.
And so when we talk about the growth of this company and sort of what's next here, you plan to stay a private company?
For the short term. I think long term, the idea is to go public and go big, and I can share why. What's happening in supply chain right now, in visibility, is similar to what happened in 80s and 90s when barcodes came around. Because barcodes seems like they're here forever, but they haven't. In 80s and 90s, they transformed supply chain visibility. But e-commerce wasn't a thing then. Now we need new tools to keep up with e-commerce, and we have ubiquitous cameras, where cameras can offer you much more traceability on whether my inventory is damaged, what is my count, where it is located, what is its status, other than just a barcode. And this is right at an inflection point, and we find ourselves at that inflection point, leading the term where drones are collecting these images, and we are training our AI on it every day, and it's getting better, which means we can lead that revolution.
All right, Sankalp. Well, this is very fascinating stuff. Sankalp Arora, he's the CEO and co-founder over at Gather AI. And Alix, I mean, this has been all the talk really about how you sort of make these warehouses and these other facilities. I mean, when I heard him talk about 60% decline in inventory issues, I mean, if you're a retailer, that would be huge if they can really deliver on those types of numbers, because that's always the bugaboo, right? I mean, you talked about the 500,000 pairs of shoes or whatever it is. I mean, I have like 10,000 in my closet at home, and I don't know how you find all those. I can't find them in the morning myself.
You need your own personal drone with software in order to do that.
I would like one, actually.
Yeah, but that also dovetails with what we spoke about with the Honeywell CEO too, that is no way about replacing workers, but like you don't need two people maybe to do one job. You can have a drone and then a human, or that you need the human to be able to participate with the drone. The two together is the magic, it's not the replacement.